What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard someone brag about? So I work at this marketing place with this guy, Dan, and this dude brags about everything. We're sitting at lunch. There's like 6 of us eating our sad desk salads when Dan walks up with this huge grin. He sits down and goes, "Guys, you're not gonna believe how I outsmarted a charity this weekend." Everyone stops chewing. Like, what do you even say to that? So Dan starts explaining how he went to this charity auction thing for the homeless shelter downtown. You know, one of those fancy events where people bid on stuff and all the money goes to help people. Except Dan didn't go there to help anybody. He went there to score a deal. He's sitting there, all proud, telling us how he waited until the very last second to bid on this fancy steakhouse dinner voucher. Everyone else was bidding like crazy trying to raise money for the shelter, but Dan swoops in and gets it for 20 bucks. The thing was worth 100. When someone at our table goes, "But Dan, wasn't the whole point to raise money for homeless people?" He just laughs. Actually laughs. And says, "Not my problem, they're bad at business. I played it smart while everyone else was playing stupid." The whole table goes quiet. Like, you could hear the air conditioning humming. That's when Jessica, who sits across from me, asks if he knows what the money was for. Turns out she volunteers at that exact shelter. She tells him the auction was specifically to buy winter coats for kids living on the streets. Dan just shrugs, actually shrugs, and goes, "Look, I'm not paying full price just because some people can't budget better. I gave them 20 bucks. That's more than most people." Then he starts eating his sandwich like he just solved world hunger or something. But here's where it gets worse. That night, this idiot posts a selfie on Facebook holding the stupid voucher. The caption says, "Some people give to charity." I take from it smartly, with a hashtag that says winning. I'm not even kidding. Jessica sees the post and loses it. She screenshots it and sends it to the whole volunteer group at the shelter. These are people who spend their weekends feeding homeless families and handing out blankets. And this guy is bragging about ripping them off. A week later, the shelter makes this post on their Facebook page calling out a certain bidder who bragged about undermining their fundraiser. They don't say his name, but everyone in town knows who they're talking about because Dan's post got shared like crazy. Dan comes into work that Tuesday absolutely furious. He's stomping around the office telling anyone who'll listen that he's being harassed online for being a good negotiator. He actually used those words, like he negotiated with homeless children or something. Our boss, Mr. Peterson, doesn't say anything to Dan's face, but that same week, Dan's name mysteriously disappears from the list of employees who get company charity matching. You know, where the company matches whatever you donate? Yeah, Dan's not eligible for that anymore. By Christmas party time, nobody's talking to him anymore. Like, at all. He sits by himself at lunch now. When we have office birthday parties, he doesn't get invited. Even the janitor, who's nice to literally everyone, just nods at Dan and keeps walking.